Hey guys, I'm Unblessed Data, and welcome to another review. This time we have The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 15. So overall, this episode was really, let's add one more, really good. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. It had a really strong emotional impact, I guess you could say. It really affected your, the fluid in your brain, I guess. So yeah, really cool. There's only one more episode until the season finale, which of course is a bummer, but we'll take it with pride, we'll take it with dignity, and we'll get the season over and cry until the next season starts. So let's get right into this review. Right at the beginning, Rick kind of decides he's going to turn Michonne in and kind of accept the governor's deal where they give Michonne to him and he calls off everything. Weirdly enough, we do not see the governor that much this episode, really little. We don't see Andrea at all, so we're not going to find out what happened to Andrea at this moment, but we will. And so yeah, so Rick wants to turn Michonne in, and then we have this really cool scene with Merle and Rick, and basically Rick asks Merle, like, do you even know what you're doing? Are you aware of what you're saying, your actions? And he says, like, you know what? No, I'm not really. I don't know why I do the things you do. And Rick basically tells Merle the plan that they want to turn in Michonne. And Merle says, you know, that he's gonna, like, rip her eyes out, like, torture her, basically. And Rick is like, you know what, it has to be done to save the group, basically. And then, after that, we see another scene. Merle had a lot of screen time, and we're gonna find out why in a minute. I'll just reveal it right now. Merle is dead this episode. He dies by the governor's hand, but we'll get into that later. But overall, he did a really good job. Like, the actor that plays Merle, really great job this episode. So we can see that Merle has a lot of screen time because it's one of his last episodes. Well, it is his last episode. Even Michonne had a lot of screen time this episode, which is kind of unusual because, she's kind of in the back and just like she's not a side character. She's a main character, but she just doesn't get a lot of screen time. So it's cool to see her get a little bit more too. But Herschel, Daryl, and Merle now know about the plan about Michonne. They're the ones that know. No one else knows in the group. And Merle even tells Rick, like, you're as cold as ice if you're gonna do this. Like, you're gonna turn her in to die, basically. And again, Merle basically says to himself, I'm a mystery to myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So from this point on, we can actually see the group, Carl, all of them, Carol, all of, everyone in the group. They're preparing for a war. Because that's what they think's gonna happen. They're starting to put barbed wire down. I'm not sure why they're putting barbed wire on the floor. Maybe it's for the cars. If the cars drive in, maybe it'll pop their tires or something. I don't know. They're clearing out all the walkers that the governor let in previously, which I'm surprised they haven't gotten rid of this, like, soon yet. Like, I mean, they've been around, those walkers walking around there that the governor unleashed from his little van for a while. So I don't know why they didn't clear them out as, faster than this, but they didn't, so they're doing that also. And then we see a little scene with Glenn, and Glenn kind of tells Herschel, Daryl, and them that, you know what, I cannot forgive Merle for what he did. He basically tortured me and gave my, basically, girlfriend over to the governor, and he tortured her, basically tortured her. Like, you know what? I cannot forgive Merle for doing that. There's no way I can forgive him. Then Merle and Daryl kind of have a heart-to-heart talk just about everything, basically. Them staying at the prison, like their relationship between them each other. Basically, people have to do what they have to do or they die. And it was a really heartfelt, just conversation. After that, we can see Merle takes the phone that was there, the one that Rick talked to himself with. And, yeah, so he even says, Merle, to Daryl that, Rick's gonna buckle. He's not gonna go through with bringing Michonne to the governor. And he basically says, you know what, I'm here. I'm gonna do everyone's dirty work. That's basically what I'm here for. That's what I do. So he's basically gonna take it into his own hands. Then we see Rick, and he actually sees Lori again. This time not in a white dress, though. She's pregnant, and he just sees her. And he basically just says to himself, you know what, you're not there. And, she just goes away. So we can see that Rick is still basically insane, but he's controlling it. So, good job, Rick. Good job. Then Rick tells Herschel he can't go on with the plan, so he just decides, you know what, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to bring Michonne in. Then Michonne and Merle are clearing walkers in, like, a hallway. And, you know, they're clearing them out, blah, blah, blah. And then Merle just hits her and knocks her out. And Merle ties her up, puts a bag over her head. And, yeah, he's going to go through with the plan. Even though Rick doesn't want to do it. He knew this was going to happen, so he kind of, you know what, I'm going to do this. Then Rick can't find Merle and Michonne, so he's, you know, where are they? So he decides he's going to go with Daryl out and go track them. But Daryl brings up, you know what, I'll just do it myself. You know, you can stay here. So he says, okay, whatever. So he lets Daryl go and track Michonne and Merle. Then Glenn talks to Herschel, and he actually brings out the fact that he still has the watch Herschel gave to him. And that was kind of cool just to see that, like a little moment there. And he basically tells her that he wants to marry Maggie. And he actually gives him his blessing, so it looks like they're going to get married in the zombie apocalypse. I don't know how that's practical, but whatever. And at this point, I think Herschel's going to die, even though I don't want him to die. After this, there's no real point in having him around. You know, he gave those blessing. Go ahead, Glenn, marry my daughter. There's really no point for him to be around. And with this big war that's going to happen, I'm assuming next week, next episode, he's going to die. I have a feeling he is, but I really don't want him to. But, oh well. He only has one leg. What can he do? He can't run away. Then we go to Merle and Michonne, and basically Merle's just walking Michonne. Michonne's just tied up with her arms, and he's walking her basically to Woodbury. So he basically tries to hotwire her car so they can go to Woodbury in a car, and the alarm goes off. And Michonne's actually tied up to a pole, and her hands are tied so she can't defend herself. And at this point, a bunch of walkers come because, well, the alarm's going off. So then Michonne starts fighting with her legs, really cool, and she actually gets the wire that's around her hands, throws it around a walker's neck, pushes the walker up against the pole, and just cuts the walker's neck straight off. It was crazy, really gruesome, really, really crazy. Yeah, that was like the craziest wire kill ever. Then Merle cuts her loose, and they drive away. He successfully hotwires the car. Then we have another kind of heart-to-heart talk with Merle and Michonne. So we can see that Merle, yeah, he's probably going to die. I didn't think that, though, in this whole episode. It was a huge surprise to me. I really did not think he was going to die. But, anyway, so Merle and Michonne are talking, and Michonne basically says, no one's going to mourn you, not even Daryl. He has a new family now. And, you know what? He's kind of right. Like, you're kind of just doing random things just to make people angry, basically. And she's kind of bringing it up and bringing up, like, you know, what's your moral situation here? Like, what do you stand for, basically? Then we see Glenn, and he goes up to a walker that's on the fence of the prison, and he cuts, it's a woman, cuts her fingers off, and obviously to get a ring to marry Maggie. So that was kind of cool, too. And then we go back to Michonne and Merle, and basically Michonne's trying to talk Merle out of doing what he's doing. And he just said, and then Michonne just says, so I'm getting tongue-tied, blah, blah, blah. Michonne basically just tells Merle, you know, why can't we just go back? Let's just turn back. And Merle basically says, I can't. And he says, I have to do something on my own, by myself. And basically, he just lets Michonne go. And he just says, you know what, just go. And he just drives away. So, I don't, like, at this point, like, what's going on here? Like, what's Merle doing? This is, like, going against everything he stands for. But we can see he has a change of heart in the end of this episode. And, we'll get to that in a second. But then Merle's just alone in his car, kind of just having his last, you know, few moments alive. I think he knew he was going to die, too. And he just starts to play really loud music in his car. And it's attracting a lot of walkers on his car. And he just slowly drives to the meeting ground where he was basically going to drop off Michonne. So he just lures all these walkers into the grounds where the governor is. And he has a gun, too. So, hey. Then basically Daryl finds Michonne. And Michonne's on her own, and surprisingly, she's not hurt or anything. She does have her sword, so I don't see why, you know, Michonne would, you know, she can survive by herself. So Daryl finds her, and Michonne just basically goes off on her own again, and Daryl just goes and says, I'm gonna go try to find my brother. Okay, whatever. So then Merle shows up at the meeting place, and so then all the walkers are around, all the governor's men are focusing on these walkers. He's in the background just sniping people, and he kills as many of the governor's men as he can. I guess that's what his plan was, to try to give the prison an edge, and try to kill as many people as he can so they actually stand a chance. And yeah, he kind of redeemed himself. He was doing something for the prison. He was thinking about others, not himself. But then, it kind of goes sour. So Merle tried to shoot the governor even. He had him in his crosshairs and shot, but then someone stepped in front of the governor, and the governor didn't die. So the governor could have died right there. So that would have been kind of cool. Big surprise. But, no. Then the governor finds Merle, and they fight, and the governor bites off Merle's fingers on his last hand and just rips them off. It was really gross. And basically, Merle just says, you know what, I'm not going to beg to you. Like, who are you? I'm not going to beg to you. And then the governor just shoots Merle right in the head. So, well, not in the head, he just shoots him. So we actually don't know where he got shot, but... So, yeah, then at that point, Merle died. So, it was a cool way for Merle to go. He went out with a bang, really. Just like his character, he went out in a bang. And I really did like his character, although he was racist and, just a bad person in general. It added a lot of flavor to the show, and he will be missed. I'll tell you that right now. So, yeah. Then Glenn asks Maggie to marry her, and she says yeah, so nice moment there. It's kind of just filler, I guess. And then Rick tells the group the situation. He actually reveals to the whole group that, the governor said, if I trade in Michonne, yeah. And at this point, it kind of turned into a president's speech, like, we will for this country, like that. I'm serious. And he's saying, I'm not your governor. We choose, we vote. Yeah. So he kind of just took back what he said in the last episode of season 2. So that was kind of a cool moment too. And so he basically says, we'll vote if we want to fight or leave. So I don't know. They might just leave. We really don't know. And there won't be a big war. Then Michonne returns to the prison. She's back at the prison. We just see her walk up to it. We actually don't see her go in. Then after that, we see Daryl, and he was tracking his brother the whole time. And so he goes up to where all these men are dead. He sees all the people that Merle shot. So he's just looking around, and then he actually sees Merle as a zombie. Not a zombie because they don't say it was zombies. He sees him as a walker. And it was a really, really emotional moment. And just to say, the makeup and everything they did on Merle, really, really cool. It made him really look like a walker. But, Daryl actually starts to cry, and he's like, no, no, and he just starts to push Merle, because of course Merle's going toward him to eat him. And then he just violently kills him. So, that was kind of weird to see that, like, someone of your loved ones died, and they actually killed them. Because, just like Morgan, he was hesitant to kill his wife. So, yeah, that was another angle to, like, this whole family situation if someone in your family turns to a walker. So, yeah, it was really emotional, but really, really good. Just overall, really, really awesome episode, I have to say. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Leave your thoughts in the comments below if you want to ask me a question or whatever. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. You can go to my channel for more news and reviews. I just want to say, again, thank you very much for watching, and see you later. Bye.